and gentlemen, welcome back to Pulse Media _KE. Have you been to South Africa? I know you have not. Imagine, in South Africa they say that on a Valentine's Day like yesterday, it's every man's responsibility not only to surprise his girlfriend with a flower, but also with a packet of gifts. But here in Macedo, do you think that is the case? Certainly not. Like we promised you last week that today we'll be hosting none other than Mr. Phillian Onyango, who I believe is already with us in the house. Mr. Phillian, how are you?
Good and you?
I'm also good.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Ulipeleka maua?
I was too busy. You know, as this year, we don't celebrate Valentine. Maybe it was 7th day.
You don't believe in that here?
I don't believe.
Wow. At least with me I took, but things never turned well. That's a story for another day. Anyway, so like we promised that today we'll be hosting you to someone who today we need to discuss around Maseno at the university. First now, each and every time you walk into the lecture hall in Maseno, you find that Phillian Onyango 07 blah 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 43. So people are asking, who is this guy? So please briefly tell us who you are, your course, your study, and if possible even where you come from.
Yes. Well, my name is Phillian Onyango. I'm also known as Raffaella to others. I come from Rongo, sub-county in Migori County. Currently, I'm in year 2, pursuing Masters of Science, Actuarial Science, where we deal with the risk there. I'm also an entrepreneur. I do business, and that's why I've been known as a result of business, not only in Maseno University but also in Maseno School. They call me Puru there.
Yeah, with the Maseno School, our neighbor there.
Yes.
Wow, that's so encouraging. Actually, it is on the ground, but you're like a celeb around here. And being a celeb in an institution like this, sometimes it may be advantageous, sometimes it may be the opposite. So, what are some of the merits and the demerits you have faced as an individual in that field of yours?
Merits. Well, like I said, I can easily access departments. So if you go there, I've not only sell suits to lecturers, but I did also. Sorry, I've not only sold suits to students, but I also sell suits to lecturers and even the departments. While they were striking, they were complaining about return to work formula. I was the one who was supplying them some suits for energy. As they walk around, you could see them having some lollipop sticks. So one of the merits that I've gained is I can easily access any department, and they are like, oh, you are the Phillian. Oh, you are the one who will sell to us sweets. Where are the sweets? And the demerits is whenever administration comes, find when I talk about administration, those are removing, they need some letters around. They just know that it is Phillian, even if it is not Phillian, it is just Phillian. So those are some of the demerits that I faced.
Okay. When did this start? You know, selling sweets is one of the underrated businesses around. So what really motivated you to focus on selling sweets? When did it start?
Well, when I joined back in 2020, it was Corona period, and we were the only people in school. So our class used to end on Wednesday, and when you see William Kwashere and the rest, so on Friday and Thursday I was free. So my weekend used to begin on Thursday. Wednesday evening, actually, and it will go until Monday. So I found myself I was so lazy. I looked for anything I could do. Then because I didn't begin business, now I used to do business even before joining. I ventured into sweets as early as semester 2 year 1. So I could walk around and give people sweets, have the order, and I could take to them sweets. That's very well I began business.
Okay. You have mentioned that you're a student, a master student from the School of Actuarial Science. What is actuarial science? Is there any way it relates to business and as an activity?
True. And actually, actuarial science deals with the risk analysis and forecasting. One of the inventions that has been done with actuarial, you add whenever Ken is talking about according to our actuarial projection. For example, the introduction of SHA, it is the actuaries who are behind the introduction of SHA. SHA, even NHIF, though SHA is not, like, some people are saying it is not working, but those who invented it,
they know very well that it works.
Yeah, it works. And the government cannot bring something that cannot work.
Exactly.
That is what I can say. So, actuarial generally deals with the risk analysis and even forecasting. It helps us to predict what future entails, so the country can be able to plan for its future. Most of those who are in insurance sectors, the financial sectors, and even the pensioners, the NSSF people and the rest, those are all actuarial. Even here in university, for the university setup, things to do with the risk. For example, there can be fire, there can be loss of documents. So the actuarial idea helps us so that we can make a well-informed decision. So how actuarial relates with business, I've said actuarial deals with the risk. Business is all about risk.
Exactly.
So I apply the actuarial knowledge in business. Actuarial helps me to understand business more, and whenever I face challenge, I try to refer to my academic journey, what I was taught. So that is how I balance business and actuarial.
I see. Now, you see, from how you have just talked, it means that you're a very busy man. How do you find it to manage business with the books? Because your course primarily requires someone who does a lot of research.
Well, everyone knows that I'm a member of that class. That is the funny thing. If you meet us last year, they ask you where is the class, not knowing that I'm only there for business. So some assume that I'm almost everywhere. I don't study, but I do study. I do get time. So one of the things that you must know, time is your essence, and time is capital. So how you budget, how you plan, you must reschedule. You must, before the week begins, I always have a work plan. What I want to achieve academically and what I want to achieve in terms of business.
You have said that you started the business in 2020. That means if my maths really works, it is now 5 to 6 years down the line. What are some of the challenges you have faced in doing this business?
I've faced the greatest challenges. One of the challenges is I wanted to be rich quickly in terms of money. Yeah. So I tried expanding faster. I tried, but I didn't. It takes time. Slow but sure. That is one thing I can tell convicts. So
shortcuts never work here.
Yeah, you cannot. In fact, it takes time because business is all about building confidence, consistency, that people and gaining trust. For people to trust you, that means at least there are things you've been doing consistently, so that they can be able to buy from you. So building that trust, it takes time, and that is what has brought business with a strong human relation. That is how I relate with people, because whenever they want something, for example, I have different varieties of seeds. They are 100% sure that they will get it from you.
Wow. So, how about the business environment ever since we started? Is it that favorable? Competition, you know?
Well, the business environment is favorable, but to some extent. You know, these are institutions. The main business I do is the one of seeds. And my main customers are the students. So, and we usually have 2 semesters and we have a break, a long holiday. So during long holiday I have to venture into another business. Either I must go to Maseno School, which will rely on sports and things to do with contests. So when people go for recess, the long holiday, the business is not somehow good, but when they are here, we appreciate because the business is booming.
Yeah. you find that for some obvious reason the school prohibits the selling of goods, especially food in the school. But again, at the same time, you find that being a university, the school must need to encourage comrades to be involved in business. Is there a way the school supports students in developing the research skills, not only in business but even the academic field?
Let me begin with business. You know, in every institution there are rules and regulations.
Yeah.
The rules and regulations is not that whatever you do is bad, but to give limit to some extent.
Exactly.
It cannot be, we cannot have a situation where things are being done in an orderly manner. That's why there are rules and regulations. We find that we not to do this to this level, because they know that if you go beyond that level, to you it might seem best, but it is harmful.
Yeah.
Things to do with the food, there are people who used to supply food. I can't talk on their behalf, but the administration saw it wise to stop the business, because to some extent there might be food poisoning, and if you are doing this in hostels, students are at risk.
Yeah. They can easily be affected.
Yeah. And then there is a question you ask, if you can just come again.
The school, you have talked about business, but now about the research skills, terms of academic wise.
Academic wise,
Yeah.
Yes, school helps a lot. We have that scholarship. This the combination of Germany and Kenya, various countries in Africa, not only in Kenya. We had the latest incident, which I can remember when I went to the office of graduate studies. They told me that they usually have that scholarship, and one of the beneficiaries, we know Sheila, who was former student leader. She was
She was at Maseno.
yeah, she was in Maseno.
Now a
She
graduate.
was the leader of CS Finance, Council Secretary for Finance, and she was one of the luckiest girls. She got scholarship, and now she's a blended one.
Okay.
Some physical, they do some research in Germany.
I got you. Okay. Then,
So I can just encourage students, work hard, do your best.
yeah. So
And
about trying to
apply
do
for this scholarship. They are there.
They
If you
are
don't
there.
get them, who will
Scholarships
get
are
them?
there.
Scholarships are there. If you get first class, second upper, apply for this scholarship. If you don't get them, who will get them?
Nobody.
And the Maseno is one of the best universities around.
Exactly.
The only university along
One
the
of
coast.
the underrated universities around, but it's one of the best also. Now, coming to comrades, is there a way that comrades the comrades relation can be improved, you know, to support entrepreneurship, not only in Maseno but also abroad?
It is possible.
Yeah.
There's various means.
You know, they always say that in a school setup like this, it is that a comrade should help a comrade. But in most cases, we find that a comrade is also a comrade's enemy.
Yeah, that is there. It is something, you know, this is a community. And community carries a lot of people, kuna wachawi, pastors and the rest. So Maseno being a community, there are so many means that I can say university has provided so that students can survive. There are those in charge of the student welfare, through the Directorate of Student Welfare. We have this organization that students are not aware, so the first thing is being informed. They should be aware. There are various opportunities. One of them, we have the canteens around. These canteens belong to the students. By students, I mean either masters or undergraduate students. They can go and read the definition of student from student handbook. So they belong to student, but the administration cannot give it to one individual. So the administration, through the SOMU, they came up with guidelines, the clubs and the society. So this canteen, you can only get them through club in society. So societies are like SDA, CU, Catholics and the rest, but clubs, we have SAMU, the one for pharmacy students, we have MedSam for medical students, we have TASMU for the actual students, SASMU for the statistician, and so many.
We have MOES for education.
We have MOES for education.
Yeah.
The education is studying.
MOES is one of the, prominent departments we have around.
And the biggest school.
Yeah.
In terms of population. So, if they apply, they can get this, comrades and survive. 2, we usually have work study, though it is being done once in a year, but it can also help. So, students should be informed about these things, and they should apply. We don't expect people from Murang'a University.
Maybe,
yes.
to clarify on this, we have these organizations that we have said. Let us, like the MOES are more familiar with the MOES. Is it that it is only the executive of MOES, or as long as a student, any student?
Being a student, I said you should refer to the student handbook. So long as you are a student, a bona fide student of Maseno University, by being a bona fide, you must have signed the nominal roll to tell the university that you are in the university,
Or in the system.
for planning,
Yeah.
or even timetabling, even the allocation of the rooms for studies. So signing the nominal roll helps. 2, you must have registered for units, of which this one requires 50%, but in the new funding model, they've been riding. Yeah, they are supposed to pay the household fee. So being a student, you are supposed to apply for these things. What they will check, are you a bona fide student? Have you registered for the semester? If you've registered for the semester, then you qualify to apply for these things. So it must not necessarily be that you are a member of MOES executive for you to apply, or some, or you must be a student leader. No, it doesn't require a title. Once you're a student,
as long as you operate through the organization.
Yeah.
Under the name of the organization.
So long as you're united, you can work under the organization. So that one, there are terms and conditions for organization. As MOES, you have your constitution. I can't talk much about MOES. I can't talk about other organizations, but there is that's really overlooked for the framework that guides. So if you have to get something, then you must be a member of MOES. So students should also participate in this small organization, because you can't just go to an individual. How do you give a canteen to an individual?
That is not possible.
It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Because we have more than 30,000 students in the same university. So if you give, and we have less than 20 canteens around. So that means only 20 students will benefit. But if you can generate funds, you can even connect the greatest capital or